You need to get ready because these blockchains are about to explode as soon as Bitcoin hits new all-time highs. But there's a problem. All of these blockchains have massive market caps and will unlikely see anything bigger than a 10x. Don't worry, I've gone away and found small cap gems, some with market caps as small as $7 million. I think we'll see astronomical pumps when the key layer 1s and 2s get moving. And I've done this by studying previous data where I found coins like Pangolin that did a 61x when Avalanche just did a 5x. I've gone and found more coins that I think might do a Pangolin very soon, so hit that like button. Let's get into today's video. Now let's just quickly look at where we are and understand why the pump is actually coming this time. This is Bitcoin. This is the global liquidity index. You can see that there's an 83.6% correlation between the two. Bitcoin's just broken out above this range that it's been stuck in for 7.5 months and is now in trajectory to move towards this bull flag target at $101,000. And this is a pretty big move. It will drag a load of money into the market and get everyone excited again. And the first to take off are usually large market cap coins if you look at the path to altcoin season. And that's because most of the large market cap coins are layer 1s and 2s. And these take off because people start to actively use the tokens and coins that live on these ecosystems. Therefore, all of these ecosystems see good growth. And I told you a few weeks ago that I've been selling my Solana to buy Sui. We're now seeing other chains like Aptos looking incredibly strong, Solana now starting to pick up once more, Avalanche even showing some excitement with Off the Grid and other key games launching on it soon, and this is giving everyone big confidence in some of the key layer 1s. But let's quickly understand what happened on Avalanche with Pangolin, and then you don't need to listen to any YouTuber ever again because you're going to know exactly which coins to buy at any given time, because it's really not that difficult. Now this is DeFiLlama.com, and you're probably getting tired of seeing this, but hopefully it's starting to sink in that this is the key to pretty much everything you're seeing around you. Okay, now quickly, this is Avalanche. We can find Avalanche by searching for Avalanche. Now you can come down below, you can click on TVL. You can see that not much has been happening on TVL over time. TVL is total value locked. But look here, when you click on volume, you can see that there was key spikes in the volume in Avalanche in the past. And this one started around October time, back in 2023. And then you have a second one that runs up into March of 2024. And during this time, we were looking into the Avalanche ecosystem and we called Pangolin. So if you missed that call, make sure you subscribe because the next time you might catch yourself a 61x. Now you can see during that time, from that low, Avalanche went up 472%, which is pretty good going from big layer 1. But in a similar time, Pangolin from this low down here ripped up nearly 11x. And this breaks the model of small market cap coins not pumping until later on in altcoin season. Because if the small market cap coin is linked to the big layer 1 or 2, they will inevitably do well if that chain does well. And then again, look, in March, you can see Avalanche pumps again. What happens to Pangolin? It absolutely rips up another 828%. So during the same period that Avalanche went up nearly 7.5x, Pangolin went from the bottom of this low all the way up nearly 60x. I know I said 61x earlier. Apologies for getting carried away. But you'll have to agree, 61x is pretty good. You will then notice that Pangolin has been pretty static and not doing much over a long period of time, which tells me maybe it's not the best time to dive into Pangolin right now. So why not Pangolin right now? Well look, Avalanche chain volume is pretty poor. Hasn't really been doing a huge amount since these big spikes. So what makes Pangolin special? Well, it's a DEX, a decentralized exchange on Avalanche. What happens when a chain starts to blow up, like we've seen from Sui recently? As soon as this happens, everyone wants to go and trade coins on those particular platforms. What have we seen recently on Sui? We've seen the launch of a lot of meme coins as well that have been getting volume. People have been trading those meme coins through, guess what? DEXs. And here's why we got excited about Sui and how he made big gains on Sui. And guys, this isn't just to toot my own horn about what a bloody legend of a crypto YouTuber I am. It's more to show you the process. If you understand this process, you don't need me anymore. And then I've done my job, right? You don't need me because you can go and fish on your own. You're going to be happy. And that's what I really want to happen. And if you want to continue to be better at fishing, then subscribe and I'll teach you other tips and tricks as well. Now, come down below. Sui, you can see, suddenly picked up loads of volume. That made it interesting. People started to look towards Sui because the price action inevitably follows the volume. But if you go down below and look at the protocols that support Sui, then you'll start to see that lots of them got a lot of attention. And there's one in particular that we called on the channel called Cetus, which is none other than a decentralized exchange. And at the top, you've got Sui, which you could see in that period of time pumped nearly 354%. And you've got Cetus that went up 405%. And I believe that if Sui continues to pump, then Cetus as a DEX will continue to get more and more volume because more and more people want to trade on SUI, and then the whole thing goes up. And here's the thing, I'm not attached to SUI, I'm not attached to anything. I want to make money, I want to invest in stuff that goes up. Hopefully that's what you want to do as well. Don't get too attached to this is the best tech and they have a nice team and they're really friendly, because it's all irrelevant. We're here to make money, we're here to find the volume, and it's so easy to find the volume because the volume will always pick up before the price action. So which blockchains are on the move right now? Well, there's two, one of which is called Aptos and the other of which is called Base. Aptos is layer 1, Base is layer 2. So why have these two been pumping? Well, there's probably good reasons for it, and I've discussed it in previous videos about the tech, but don't fill yourself with these stories that support why you're in something. All you're looking at is the logic, the data behind why something moves. And then you don't go too far wrong, because then you don't fall in love with coins on the narrative and the story behind it. Now, Aptos is pretty similar to SUI, both ultra-high fast proof-of-stake blockchains, both built on the Move programming language, which is basically an upgrade of Rust, which is what Solana's built on, and some out there have called Aptos the Solana 2.0. Both Aptos and SUI have both been developed by people who used to be behind Meta's Libra and DM projects, giving them a great deal of expertise in the space. But anyway, let's not care about that. Look at this. Look at these green bars, okay? These green bars are going up, yeah? What does this tell us? It tells us, whether it's a great chain or not, everybody's starting to trade on this, and it's only getting bigger. Every day, the TVL, the total value locked, is increasing. The volume is also increasing. And maybe a lot of this has come out of the SUI ecosystem after recent pumps. And if you come down below, look at all the projects on Aptos, all going up massively in terms of token value lock. And the key to pay attention to is the price action is kind of usually a few days behind and lags behind the growth in terms of TVL and all those volumes and things like that. So what can we do? We know what pumps when coins pump, and there's typically a few things. DEXs, okay? Decentralized exchanges start to see good pumps when coins and ecosystems pick up, because again, everyone starts to rush to use Aptos and wants to use a DEX. DEXs and DEX coins are really easy. You've probably seen and heard Luke Belmar talking in crypto videos quite regularly about how he made all of his money in crypto. And effectively, he noticed the same thing in the last bull market. He noticed that Binance was the biggest exchange, and the BNB token was probably a very good investment, but it had a big market cap and probably wasn't going to see massive gains. So what did he do? He invested heavily in PancakeSwap, which is a DEX built on Binance Smart Chain. What happened? It went up and he made like 72x or something crazy on his initial big bags, and he made a lot of money. Good for him. All we're doing is identifying a very similar thing happening here, right? You can see two DEXs here. One, we've got Solana Finance, and we've got another one called Liquid Swap. Now we can go down below on Solana, really annoying name, so similar to Solana, but not the same. And we can see that there's a $32.9 million volume, which is pretty bloody big, with 320,000 users, $76.2 million in TVL. But we can notice something. In the last month, Solana hasn't really been picking up, particularly in any way, like we've seen happening on Aptos recently. You can see that in the last month, it's up over 32%, which is not bad, okay? With still a market cap of like $13 million. FTV is obviously a little bit bigger than that. But since Aptos has been picking up really quickly recently, I want to identify other coins, other DEXs that are showing similar signs of growth to Aptos, because I think they're going to be closely linked in how they move together. And just to make that very simple, okay, why I've not gone for that one rather than another, is it's showing that Aptos is starting to increase with activity, right? Because the price is going up, the volume's going up. So I want to see a DEX that's showing that the volume is going up as well, because it means that people moving to the Aptos ecosystem are starting to use that DEX. Yeah? So Solana's not really showing much activity at the same time that the chain it's supposed to be supporting isn't showing much activity. Maybe it's not the best one. But instead, let's go down and find the next DEX. We've got Liquid Swap, ticker LSD, and you can see that the price has been reacting in a similar way to Aptos. Aptos is up, 126%, and in the same time, since that drop towards the downside, we can see LSD up 168%. Coming across here, we can see the Liquid Swap TVL is picking up, and we can go to the volume, and we can see that the volume isn't bad. Now, I admit, $10 million of volume isn't crazy, but it's got an FDV of like 30 million. Now, you can see at the moment, market cap is zero. Coin market cap hasn't indicated to us what the actual circulating supply is and market cap. This is simply a verification process. It takes some time for these two things to be approved. Now, later on this week, I will update you on my favorite DEXs that I've been investing in, because I still think that DEXs are a very easy way to catch big gains at the start of a bull market, and I will leave a list of all of the DEXs, small cap DEXs, over on my Twitter page. So go and give me a follow over on Twitter, and make sure that you don't miss out on those small cap DEXs, because the people who get into those early will likely see the biggest pumps. But for now, liquid swap looks pretty strong in terms of what I'm seeing. Price action looks good, supporting my thesis on what's going on Aptos right now. It's also worth paying attention to what's happening on Aptos and why maybe it's getting attention. If you go to lunacrush.com and go to cryptocurrencies, you can come down below and you can see, meme season is ripping through. And typically when all of these memes are at the top of the most engaged and most exciting things going on, it's usually indicating a local top. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of meme coins do start to see sell-offs. As they kind of get too much hype and excitement, people will start to take profits on them. Now, what you can come down below and see, though, is the likes of Aptos starting to climb up 150 places up today, which is pretty impressive. You can see Radium, a DEX on Solana. This is also starting to climb. Jito, a lending platform on Solana, also starting to climb. Okay, this is where you want to pay attention to where the information is coming from. Most people who are just watching YouTube videos and stuff are just seeing all this content about this stuff, by which point it's already too late. Okay, many of these coins, unfortunately, you're already too late for. If you're already holding these coins, good for you. I'm really pleased. You must have been making some good money. Don't forget to take profits when everyone is telling you that it's going to go to $10 billion market cap, because that's usually BS and it won't ever happen. So I highly recommend just going down below, okay? Look at some of these projects built on Aptos, built on whatever chain. We'll look at another chain in just a moment. And you can see what is benefiting from the pumps that are going on right now. We just said that lending platforms tend to do quite well. Thala network right now, market cap $27 million. We can see the Thala is also showing a good reaction to the Aptos move, up around 66%. Nothing particularly groundbreaking right now. The TVL is heading way higher as well. You can see the volume is also spiking towards the upside. So in this case, on Thala network, the price appears to be delayed behind the pumps that you're seeing in the TVL and the market cap. Thala looks like a really interesting bet at $27 million. Again, we're finding the small caps that are benefiting from the growth of the big caps, okay? Go and look at Thala network if you want. I'm not suggesting you go and buy this, okay? I've just really brushed across it in such a quick amount of detail. I haven't decided if I'm going to buy it yet, but look, $210 million value locked, $2.2 billion in cumulative value, 580,000 users. You can go and verify that against DeFi Llama and then understand whether or not this might be a good bet, okay? Staking, lending, DEX, platform built on Aptos. Aptos continues to grow. This for sure will continue to grow. Now, Thala again has the potential to maybe do a 30x based off of what we're seeing here. But obviously, it's just speculation, guys. Just use the data. You have an estimation based on the data and what's happened with previous coins. And this is at a flat time in the market, okay? So maybe if the market picks up fully, then everything goes crazy. Now, I think Sui will continue to see growth. I think Solana's going to see growth. I think a lot of protocols are going to see growth. But some might see more than others. What you're looking for is undervalued projects on this kind of growth ecosystems base as well, which to be honest, I don't really like using that much. It's a bit clunky, which is layer 2 used by Coinbase. Again, look at the TVL. Go and look at the volume. What's happening? Volume is going towards the upside. This is very positive for base. So come down below, look at the coins that are benefiting from the growth of base. Aerodrome Finance. This is one that's getting quite popular and people have been talking about a lot. It is a coin that I actually hold, just for full disclosure. But here's why I hold it. Look at the volume continuing to grow towards the upside. The total value lock continuing to go towards the upside. Market cap, in terms of the price action, you can see the market cap is reflecting very closely to the volume here. And it is a significantly bigger market cap than all the other coins I've been talking about. Okay, $915 million. So I do think, again, this is a fairly good bet if you want exposure to the base ecosystem without having the kind of shackles of the big market cap coins. Then go and look for stuff underneath it. And you can go down through, find DEXs, find good lending platforms. And on lending platforms, you're looking for big borrowed amounts of money, big TVL or total value lock. For DEXs, you want to see big TVL, you want to see good volume. Maybe you can look at things like the fees and stuff like that. Should give you an indicator. You've got big fees, revenue against a market cap that's not necessarily huge, then you found probably a bit of a winner. So how big can these DEXs go? Okay, well, Radium, which is on Solana, with one of the bigger market cap for DEXs, $538 million. Okay, so right now, liquid swap is like $7 million on circulating supply. You're looking towards like a 70 or 80x, okay? 70 to 80x to this valuation. But that's ambitious, given that Radium right now is one of the bigger DEXs in the game. If you were to be more conservative and you were going to like Trader Joe, $133 million market cap. Still, you're looking at like a 20x just to these current valuations. But if Aptos does take off as a chain, you could see maybe this DEX going and exploding even bigger than this current valuation. So it's not unreasonable to imagine that these could see growth. And they're so much easier to pay attention to and to keep your eye on whether or not they're still good to hold Because ultimately, if they're still getting good DEX volume and the volume continues to grow and the TVL continues to grow, then you might as well stay in it, okay? It's not like buying meme coins where you don't know whether today you're going to be up 50% or down 90%. There's no metrics to measure. This is much easier to run, okay? Now, I highly recommend that you get yourself across to DeFi Llama and you go and find some of these projects. Because if you can find some of these, maybe people are starting to talk about and getting a bit of following over on Twitter and whatever else, and you get in early and you beat me to those coins and I then go and pick up on it, then you have the chance of picking up some serious gainers, okay? Going back through history, you can see this happen time and time again. You can go and check it on the performance of DEXs and stuff when Solana was pumping. You can go and check it on AVAX. Go and check the success as different coins and chains pump at different times. It's really not rocket science, and hopefully by now I've convinced you that you should be subscribed to this channel, and I'll continue to upgrade your knowledge as we work through this bull market. No hype, no BS, just so you can understand the exact game and win this player versus player battle. Now guys, we've been talking about SUI and Aptos as early as the 12th of August, buying the absolute dips on these coins so that we can make the biggest gains possible. And if you want to get ahead of everyone else, then I recommend you join us in the Moonhouse link down below. Now, every day we're updating this alpha page where you can see exactly the coins and different things that we're getting into, but we're also having weekly live calls where I run you through masterclasses, kind of like I've just done right now, but in much more detail, and I show you the projects that I myself am buying, as well as what the other experts in the group are buying. And here are some of the calls we've been making over the last month and a half. Some of these are up over 190% in just the last few weeks, with multiple of these up over 100%. So if you want someone to hold your hand through these crypto markets, knowing exactly when you should be buying and selling certain coins, and make sure you join the Moonhouse, which is linked down below in the description. It's $99 per month, but many users have been able to see returns on coins they've been buying in the last day or two that have covered the cost of this for the next 6 months or a year. And as well as that, if you go for a longer period of time, then you'll also get a discount as well. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please hit that like button for me. Helps me out more than you know. If you're new to crypto, then subscribe and consider getting yourself into the Moonhouse to be able to make massive gains during this bull market. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.